33 drivers, 200 laps, 500 miles. Only one winner. Who will that winner be? Find out at the end of the video who I think will be winning the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500. So as you can see by the disclaimer, and by my first 20 plus seconds, today I'll give my analysis and predictions for the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500. So let's look at some drivers in the starting grid that to look out for in Sunday's race. In the pole position, we have James Hinchcliffe, who did not run in last year's Indy 500 because he had a crash in practice at the Indy 500 last year, and he was forced to miss the race. So look for him to lead some laps early on to set the tone for the race. Starting in third, we have Ryan Hunter-Reay, the 2014 Indy 500 winner. And you better bet he wants to win another Indy 500. So look for him to run up front most of the day. In the fifth position, we have Carlos Munoz, who finished second in 2013. You bet he wants to win an Indy 500. Starting in the fifth position, I feel like if he can stay up front, he could be a factor by the end of the day. Number 6, we have Will Power, starting in the 6th overall position. He finished second in last year's Indy 500. You bet he's motivated to win it this year. Starting in the 8th position, we have points leader Simon Pagenaud. He won the Indy Lights series, the Indy Lights race earlier this month. You bet he wants to win the big jewel, the Indy 500. And in 9th place, we have multiple Indy 500 champion, Indy 500 winner, Helio Castroneves. You bet he wants to win another Indy 500, so look for him to make some moves early on. And number 12, and 12th, we have, starting in the 12th position, we have Takuma Sato, the Japan driver, who almost won an Indy 500 a couple years ago, but he got second one year because he spun out in the last lap. Number 13, we have 2008 winner Scott Dixon. Scott Dixon won the Indy 500 8 years ago. You bet he wants to win another one 8 years later. Since he's starting in the middle of the field, look for him to take it easy early on, but as we get to the halfway point, look for him to be up front. And starting in 14th, we have maybe the most popular driver in the IndyCar series, Marco Andretti. Marco Andretti is due for an Indy 500 victory, but it's up to him and his crew whether he can get it done this year. Could he win this race? He could, but will he? Find out in my prediction later in the video. Number 15, in the 15th position, we have J.R. Hildebrand. J.R. Hildebrand was really close to winning the Indy 500 in 2011, but he hit the wall coming out of turn 4 on the last lap. Starting in the 17th position, we have last year's Indy 500 winner, Juan Pablo Montoya. Since he's starting in the middle of the field, he came back last year because he had early problems in last year's race, but he came back to win it. Look for him to not want to have any trouble, but want to win again this year. Starting in the 18th position, we have the 2013 winner, Tony Kanaan. Tony Kanaan has to start in the 18th spot, but you can bet your bottom dollar he's not going to be there for very long. Starting in 20th, we have Ed Carpenter, who sat on the pole for a couple Indy 500s, I believe. But I expect him to move up a couple spots within the first couple of laps. Let's see, in the 26th position, we have Graham Rahal. Graham Rahal, he really wants to win an Indy 500, but he's going to have to come from the back of the field. And those are just some of your drivers that will be a part of this 100th annual Indy 500. Technically, it's not annual because they had to take a couple years off of the Indy 500 due to things. So here's how this is going to go. I'm going to give my winner pick. Then I'm going to give my top 3. And I'm going to give out 2 wild cards that could win this race. My winner pick for the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500 is Will Power. I feel like Will Power is going to be in the front most of the day, but he's going to be leading when it counts, the last lap. Look for Will Power to be running in the top 10 all day long. Look for him to take the lead with maybe about 30 laps to go and hang on to it. My pick to finish second is Scott Dixon. I feel like Scott Dixon will try to reel in Will Power within the last couple of laps, but he'll just run out of time. My pick to finish third is Marco Andretti. I feel like Marco Andretti is going to lead a couple laps, a little toward the end maybe, about 50 to go, but it'll be the last pit stop. That's my prediction. The last pit stop is going to kill Andretti's chances to win the Indy 500. Now, those are my top 3. I know one of those 3 will definitely win this Indy 500, but here's 2 wild cards. One wild card is James Hinchcliffe. I think it's been a long time since the pole winner has ever won the Indy 500. I'm not an historian, but I don't think a pole winner has ever won the Indy 500. I think James Hinchcliffe could be the guy that does it. If he can stay out of trouble most of the race, if his crew can be efficient, and he doesn't make any mistakes. So there's one wild card that can win this race. Your second wild card to win the race is Simon Pagenaud. Why I feel like Simon Pagenaud could be a factor in this race? It's because he's the points leader. He can make his way up there. He's got a very fast car. I feel like he can get up to the front, maybe make some moves, battle to the end of the race. But in the end, though, I like Will Power to be the winner of the 100th running of the Indy 500. Well, that's going to do it for your 100th annual Indy 500, 100th running of the Indy 500 video. Comment below who you think's going to win this race. And also follow my sports Twitter account at JBTalkSports. Like, subscribe to the channel. See you in my next video. Have a great day, everyone.